Welcome back to our channel, where we delve into the timeless wisdom of the Stoics to help you fortify your mind and master your emotions. In this video, we're about to embark on a journey through 32 Stoic principles that serve as an impervious shield against life's turbulence. Drawing from the teachings of ancient philosophers, we'll unveil how these principles can transform your perspective and empower you to remain unshaken, no matter the circumstances. Get ready to cultivate an unbreakable spirit and embrace the Stoic way of life. Let's dive in. 1. Accept what you cannot change. Stoicism teaches that we should accept the things that are beyond our control, such as the weather, other people's actions, and our own past. Trying to control these things is futile and only leads to frustration and anger. Instead, we should focus on accepting these things and finding ways to cope with them. This can be difficult, but it is important to remember that we cannot control everything that happens to us. When we experience something that we cannot change, we can choose to react in a negative way, or we can choose to accept it and move on. If we choose to accept what we cannot change, we can free ourselves from the negative emotions that often accompany these situations. We can also focus on the things that we can control, such as our own thoughts and actions. 2. Don't let your emotions control you. Stoicism teaches that our emotions are not something that happens to us, but rather something that we choose. We can choose to let our emotions control us, or we can choose to control them. When we are faced with a difficult situation, it is important to take a step back and ask ourselves why we are feeling the way we are feeling. Once we understand the root of our emotions, we can start to deal with them in a more constructive way. For example, if we are feeling angry, we can ask ourselves why we are angry. Are we angry because someone has wronged us? Are we angry because we are feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Once we understand the reason for our anger, we can start to deal with it in a healthy way. We can do this by talking to someone we trust, exercising or practicing relaxation techniques. We can also choose to focus on the positive aspects of the situation, which can help us to feel more in control of our emotions. 3. Live in the present moment. Stoicism teaches that the past is gone and the future is uncertain, so the only thing we can control is the present moment. This means focusing on living each day to the fullest and not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. It can be difficult to live in the present moment, especially when we are faced with difficult challenges. However, it is important to remember that the past cannot be changed, and the future is not guaranteed. The only thing we have is the present moment, so we should make the most of it. We can do this by paying attention to our surroundings, being mindful of our thoughts and feelings, and savoring the good things in our lives. We can also practice gratitude, which can help us to focus on the present moment and appreciate the things that we have. 4. Do your duty. Stoicism teaches that we have a duty to live a virtuous life. This means acting in accordance with reason and doing what is right, even when it is difficult. When we fulfill our duty, we are living in harmony with nature and the universe. Our duty can be anything from being a good friend or parent to being a productive member of society. When we do our duty, we are making a positive contribution to the world, and we are also helping ourselves to live a more fulfilling life. We can find our duty by reflecting on our values and what is important to us. We can also ask ourselves what we would do if we knew that we would never be caught or punished. Once we know our duty, we can start to live in accordance with it. 5. Be indifferent to external things. Stoicism teaches that the only things that are truly good or bad are our thoughts and actions. Everything else, such as wealth, fame, and power, is indifferent. This means that we should not let these things affect our happiness or well-being. It can be difficult to be indifferent to external things, especially when we are constantly bombarded with messages about how important they are. However, it is important to remember that these things are not essential for our happiness. We can find happiness and fulfillment by focusing on the things that are truly important to us, such as our relationships, our health, and our personal growth. We can also practice gratitude, which can help us to appreciate the things that we have, regardless of their value. 6. Practice self-discipline. Stoicism teaches that self-discipline is essential for living a good life. This means being able to control our desires and impulses and to act in accordance with our reason. When we are disciplined, we are able to resist temptation and make choices that are in our best interests. Self-discipline is a skill that takes time and practice to develop. There are many different ways to practice self-discipline, such as setting goals, making a plan, and sticking to it. It is important to be patient and persistent when practicing self-discipline. There will be times when we slip up, but it is important to get back on track. Self-discipline is a lifelong journey, and it is never too late to start. 7. Be grateful for what you have. Stoicism teaches that we should be grateful for everything we have, no matter how small. This is because everything we have is a gift from nature and the universe. When we are grateful, we are able to appreciate the good things in our lives and live more contentedly. Gratitude is a powerful emotion that can have a positive impact on our lives. It can help us to focus on the positive aspects of our lives, even when things are difficult. It can also help us to feel more connected to others and to the world around us. There are many different ways to cultivate gratitude, such as keeping a gratitude journal, practicing mindfulness, or simply taking some time each day to reflect on the things we are grateful for. 8. Live a simple life. Stoicism teaches that we should live a simple life, free from unnecessary possessions and distractions. This is because a simple life is less stressful and allows us to focus on the things that are truly important. A simple life does not mean living in poverty or depriving ourselves of the things we enjoy. It simply means living with less and being more mindful of the things we do have. There are many different ways to live a simpler life, such as decluttering our homes, spending less time watching TV, and getting involved in our communities. Living a simple life can help us to reduce stress, improve our mental health, and connect with the natural world. 9. Be kind to others. Stoicism teaches that we should be kind to others, even to those who have wronged us. This is because kindness is a virtue, and it makes us feel good about ourselves. When we are kind to others, we are also creating a more harmonious world. Kindness is not always easy, but it is always worth it. When we are kind to others, we are not only making them feel good, but we are also making ourselves feel good. Kindness can also help to break down barriers and create a more understanding and compassionate world. There are many different ways to be kind to others, such as being patient and understanding, listening without judgment, and offering help when needed. 10. Forgive others. Stoicism teaches that we should forgive others even if they have not asked for forgiveness. This is because holding on to anger and resentment only hurts us in the long run. When we forgive others, we are able to let go of the past and move on with our lives. Forgiveness is not always easy, but it is always worth it. When we forgive others, we are not only freeing them, but we are also freeing ourselves. Forgiveness can help us to heal from emotional pain and to live a more peaceful and fulfilling life. There are many different ways to forgive others, such as understanding why the person did what they did, trying to see things from their perspective, and letting go of anger and resentment. 11. Do not sweat the small stuff. Stoicism teaches that we should not worry about things that are out of our control. This means not getting upset about minor inconveniences or setbacks. When we learn to let go of the small stuff, we can focus on the things that are truly important. The small stuff is often not worth our time and energy. It is important to focus on the big picture and not let the small stuff get to us. We can learn to let go of the small stuff by practicing mindfulness and focusing on the present moment. When we learn to let go of the small stuff, we can free ourselves from stress and anxiety and live a more peaceful life. 12. Accept death. Stoicism teaches that death is a natural part of life and that we should not fear it. This means living each day to the fullest and not worrying about what will happen after we die. When we accept death, we can live more freely and without fear. Death is something that we will all experience one day. It is important to accept death as a natural part of life. We can learn to accept death by practicing mindfulness and focusing on the present moment. When we accept death, we can live each day to the fullest and not waste time worrying about the future. 13. Be true to yourself. Stoicism teaches that we should be true to ourselves and not try to be someone we are not. This means being honest with ourselves about our thoughts and feelings and not pretending to be someone we are not. When we are true to ourselves, we are able to live a more authentic and fulfilling life. We should be honest with ourselves about who we are and what we want. We should not try to be someone we are not. We should be proud of who we are and not be afraid to show it. When we are true to ourselves, we can live a more authentic and fulfilling life. 14. Be courageous. Stoicism teaches that courage is essential for living a good life. This means facing our fears and challenges head-on, even when it is difficult. When we are courageous, we are able to overcome obstacles and achieve our goals. Courage is a skill that takes time and practice to develop. There are many different ways to practice courage, such as facing our fears, taking risks, and standing up for what we believe in. It is important to be patient and persistent when practicing courage. There will be times when we feel scared, but it is important to take action anyway. Courage is a lifelong journey, and it is never too late to start. 15. Be strong. Stoicism teaches that we should be strong, both physically and mentally. This means being able to endure hardship and adversity without giving up. When we are strong, we are able to face whatever life throws our way. Physical strength is important, but mental strength is even more important. When we are mentally strong, we are able to stay positive and motivated even when things are tough. We are also able to bounce back from setbacks and keep going. There are many different ways to build mental strength, such as practicing mindfulness, meditation, and positive thinking. When we are strong, we are able to live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. 16. Be indifferent to external things. Stoicism teaches that the only things that are truly good or bad are our thoughts and actions. Everything else, such as wealth, fame, and power, is indifferent. This means that we should not let these things affect our happiness or well-being. External things are not under our control. We should not let our happiness depend on things that are out of our control. We can focus on the things that are truly important, such as our thoughts, actions, and relationships. When we are indifferent to external things, we can live a more peaceful and fulfilling life. 17. Live in the present moment. Stoicism teaches that the past is gone and the future is uncertain, so the only thing we can control is the present moment. This means focusing on living each day to the fullest and not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. The past is gone and cannot be changed. The future is uncertain and cannot be predicted. The only thing we can control is the present moment. We can focus on the present moment by practicing mindfulness and meditation. When we live in the present moment, we can enjoy life more and reduce stress and anxiety. 18. Practice virtue. Stoicism teaches that virtue is the highest good and that we should strive to live a virtuous life. Virtue is defined as living in accordance with nature and reason. This means acting in a way that is good, just, and fair. Virtue is the foundation of a good life. We should strive to live a virtuous life by acting in accordance with nature and reason. There are many different ways to practice virtue, such as being kind, compassionate, and fair. When we live a virtuous life, we can live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. 19. Be a good citizen. Stoicism teaches that we have a duty to be good citizens and to contribute to the well-being of our community. This means being involved in our communities, helping others, and working to make the world a better place. We have a duty to be good citizens. We can be good citizens by being involved in our communities, helping others, and working to make the world a better place. There are many different ways to be a good citizen, such as volunteering, voting, and donating to charity. When we are good citizens, we can make a positive difference in the world. 20. Help others. Stoicism teaches that we should help others whenever we can. This is because helping others is a virtuous act, and it makes us feel good about ourselves. When we help others, we are also making the world a better place. Helping others is a virtuous act. It makes us feel good about ourselves. It makes the world a better place. There are many different ways to help others, such as volunteering, donating to charity, or simply being kind to someone in need. When we help others, we are making a positive difference in the world. 21. Be optimistic. Stoicism teaches that we should be optimistic and believe in the best of people. This does not mean that we should ignore the bad things in the world, but it does mean that we should focus on the good. When we are optimistic, we are more likely to see the positive side of things and to find solutions to problems. Optimism is a powerful force. It can help us to see the positive side of things. It can help us to find solutions to problems. There are many different ways to be optimistic, such as practicing gratitude, focusing on the good in people, and looking for the silver lining in every situation. When we are optimistic, we are more likely to live a happy and fulfilling life. 22. Accept responsibility. Stoicism teaches that we should accept responsibility for our actions and our lives. This does not mean that we are to blame for everything that happens to us, but it does mean that we should take control of our lives and make the best of every situation. We are responsible for our actions. We are responsible for our lives. We can control our thoughts, feelings, and actions. We can choose how we react to the events in our lives. When we accept responsibility, we are empowered to take control of our lives and make positive changes. 23. Let go of anger and resentment. Stoicism teaches that we should let go of anger and resentment. These emotions are harmful to us, and they prevent us from living a happy and fulfilling life. When we let go of anger and resentment, we can free ourselves from their negative effects. Anger and resentment are harmful emotions. They prevent us from living a happy and fulfilling life. We can let go of anger and resentment by practicing forgiveness and compassion. When we let go of anger and resentment, we can free ourselves from their negative effects. 24. Practice meditation. Stoicism teaches that we should practice meditation. Meditation is a way to calm our minds and focus on the present moment. This can help us to reduce stress, anxiety, and negative emotions. It can also help us to improve our focus and concentration. Meditation is a powerful tool for improving our mental health and well-being. It can help us to reduce stress, anxiety, and negative emotions. It can also help us to improve our focus and concentration. There are many different types of meditation, so we can find one that works for us. When we practice meditation regularly, we can reap the many benefits it has to offer. 25. Don't compare yourself to others. Stoicism teaches that we should not compare ourselves to others. This is because everyone is different, and we should focus on our own journey. When we compare ourselves to others, we can become envious or resentful. Comparing ourselves to others is a waste of time and energy. It can lead to feelings of envy and resentment. We should focus on our own journey and our own goals. When we do this, we can be more content and happy with our lives. 26. Be grateful for what you have. Stoicism teaches that we should be grateful for what we have. This is because everything we have is a gift, no matter how small. When we are grateful, we appreciate the good things in our lives, and we are less likely to focus on the negative. Gratitude is a powerful emotion that can have a positive impact on our lives. It can help us to appreciate the good things in our lives. It can help us to be more content and happy. There are many different ways to cultivate gratitude, such as keeping a gratitude journal, practicing mindfulness, or simply taking some time each day to reflect on the things we are grateful for. 27. Be mindful. Stoicism teaches that we should be mindful. This means being aware of our thoughts, feelings, and actions in the present moment. When we are mindful, we are less likely to be caught up in the past or the future. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It can help us to reduce stress and anxiety. It can help us to be more present and engaged in our lives. There are many different ways to practice mindfulness, such as meditation, yoga, or simply taking a few minutes each day to focus on our breath. 28. Focus on what you can control. Stoicism teaches that we should focus on what we can control. This means accepting the things that we cannot control and focusing on the things that we can. When we focus on what we can control, we are more likely to feel empowered and less stressed. We cannot control everything that happens to us. We can control our thoughts, feelings, and actions. When we focus on what we can control, we are more likely to feel empowered and less stressed. There are many different ways to focus on what we can control, such as practicing mindfulness, setting goals, and taking action. 29. Accept your limitations. Stoicism teaches that we should accept our limitations. This means acknowledging that we are not perfect and that we all have weaknesses. When we accept our limitations, we are more likely to be compassionate with ourselves and others. We are all human and we all have limitations. It is important to accept our limitations and not beat ourselves up about them. When we accept our limitations, we can focus on our strengths and weaknesses. We can also be more compassionate with ourselves and others. 30. Learn from your mistakes. Stoicism teaches that we should learn from our mistakes. This means not dwelling on the past, but instead using it as an opportunity to grow and improve. When we learn from our mistakes, we are less likely to make them again. We all make mistakes. It is important to learn from our mistakes and not repeat them. We can learn from our mistakes by reflecting on them and identifying what we can do differently next time. When we learn from our mistakes, we can become wiser and more resilient. 31. Be patient. Stoicism teaches that we should be patient. This means accepting that things take time and not getting discouraged when things don't happen overnight. When we are patient, we are more likely to achieve our goals. Things take time. It is important to be patient and not get discouraged when things don't happen overnight. We can practice patience by setting realistic goals and taking small steps towards them. When we are patient, we are more likely to achieve our goals. 32. Let go of attachment. Stoicism teaches that we should let go of attachment. This means not becoming too attached to things that are outside of our control, such as material possessions, relationships, and outcomes. When we let go of attachment, we are less likely to suffer when things don't go our way. We cannot control everything that happens to us. It is important to let go of attachment and not become too attached to things that are outside of our control. We can practice letting go of attachment by focusing on the present moment and accepting things as they are. When we let go of attachment, we are more likely to find peace and happiness. As you've delved into these 32 Stoic principles, you've embarked on a journey towards unshakable resilience and unwavering tranquility. By adopting these timeless insights into your life, you've equipped yourself with the tools to navigate the storms of existence with grace and poise. Remember, life's challenges are mere ripples in the vast ocean of your consciousness. As you apply these principles, you'll find yourself emerging stronger from adversity, embracing change with open arms, and cultivating a deep inner harmony that remains untouched by external circumstances. Just as a sturdy ship sails through turbulent waters, you too can sail through life's challenges, anchored in the wisdom of the Stoics. So go forth with newfound strength, for these principles shall be your guiding light on the path to becoming the master of your own serenity.